Today we're going to be talking about a lot of different things, but most of all is going to be the fact that last week I shot a lot of videos that as I sat down and I tried to edit them, they were just, as much as there was some very good information in there, it just wasn't cohesive. It didn't translate very well. I'm going to be putting out a series of videos in the next couple of weeks that are going to be centered around the beginner gardener, the person that is saying to themselves right now, I think I want to start a garden this year. I haven't ever done it before in the past. What do I need to know? What videos do I need to watch? What tips do I need to learn? And I could actually sit down and just give you a point by point something that will help you grow like a plant or a couple plants very well. But it's not really going to give you the experience that you're going to want or the satisfaction that you're going to need from putting out such a fantastic job. So let's talk about what we're going to plant in. Now, I've seen a lot of people that use, and I'll put up a picture right here and a picture right there of compressed peat pots that decompose as the plant grows. So you just take it straight from that pot that you planted your seeds in and dump it in the ground. The only problem is a lot of times, even though they are decomposable, that are just made out of peat, they really don't decompose in one season. I've pulled up plants mid-season and end of season to still find that peat pot that I had wrapped around it, still there with the roots still bound inside of it, hampering the growth of my plant. I've also seen people take up like gardening tips and tricks by using something like this toilet paper tube and cutting it in half. Once again, it will decompose, but before that happens, your plant is most likely going to get root bound and you're going to wind up taking care of an unhealthy plant. Because of it, I really would avoid using anything like that. Now, they also have those nice little peat pellets that come in trays, like 36 cell trays, and they have those nice little peat pellets. You put some water in it, they expand. Oh, they grew. It's magic. Yeah, except for that netting that they have around those peat pellets usually doesn't decompose either, and you still wind up with a root bound plant. So that is why I avoid all of those things. Now, let me show you what I do use, and I know, oh my God, I'm breaking out. It's plastic. Oh, I'm such a dirty human being. I don't want to add to any more garbage in this world, but when it comes to starting your seeds, this is usually, for me, the best method. Right here, I have 72 cells that I can start 72 different seedlings in. And it's great. These are reusable. As long as you don't destroy them, you can wash these out with a little bit of bleach and water. Now, if you're gonna reuse them season to season, please wash them out, because any soil-borne diseases that might have lingered in that tray are still going to be there, and you're going to end up with problems. So it's best just to run it under a hose, throw some bleach in a bucket, a 5-gallon bucket, and give them a good scrub. Let them sit for 30 seconds. You'll be fine. Absolutely. So I use this for a lot of my seeds, especially like tomatoes and cucumbers and everything else. But then there are the seeds I don't want to transplant right away. I don't want to up-pot them right away. And so that's why I have these bigger 4x4 cell trays, and this is what I'm going to actually put my peppers in today. And this is going to stop me from having to put up a little plug of roots and then transplanting it into something this size. I'm just going to go straight for this size. Why don't I just go to the final pot? Well, when you do that, the plant has way too much room to explore its soil and surroundings. You don't really get the nutrition that you want to that seedling, and usually in order to keep it moist, that amount of soil or mix, you're going to have to water it a lot more than you think you would have to water it, even though the plant's not using 90% of it, is probably just being evaporated. So that's why I'm going to put it into these size right here. And plus, when it finally comes time to move these up into an pot, I'm gonna change the soil to an actual potting soil or gardening soil or a mixture of compost and either or, instead of just using a starting mix. Like I said, the starting mix has barely no nutrition in it. It is basically just there to allow the seedling to open up and start to grow and feed on its own nutrition, just like the yolk of an egg. All right, so real quick, let's just get into this and then we'll move on to actually putting some dirt. I love saying dirt when it's actually just potting mix or a soil. It's not even soil, it's all organic matter. A lot of these planting trays come with one of these nice little clear planting domes. The only problem is the unexperienced gardener thinks that this thing is great, that it holds in humidity and makes your plants grow bigger and stronger. Yes, for about the first week. The thing with humidity domes, and I'm gonna put in heat mats as well, like peppers, they will not germinate until your soil temp is around 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. You can increase that by adding a heat mat underneath. You can increase that by adding a humidity dome on top. That's going to preserve some of the warmth and the moisture. The problem is, once those seedlings sprout and you start to see the cotyledon leaves, which are the first leaves that sprout off of a seedling, you need to remove this. At this point, it's only going to hinder you more than it's going to help you. That includes the heat mat. You do not want your soil temperature to be consistently at like 80, 85 degrees. It will kill your plants. So we covered that. You can, you don't have to, but you can use a heating mat and a humidity dome. Just remember, once you start seeing, leaves start to sprout, you need to get rid of it, okay? All right, everyone, that was the video on picking the potting media that you want to do and the pots that you want to, start your seedlings in. I'm going to stop it right there so that our next video we could talk about exactly what I'm planting, why I'm planting it the way I am, and how to incorporate other ideas for the next planting season, like succession planting, in what I'm doing right now. So we'll get into how I organize that and everything on the next video. I love you, and I'll see you next time.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting strong.
I already called not helping.
Call not helping?
No. I call ignoring you.
I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.